All right, we are live finally.
Run that back, Turbo. We back. We live. Apologies,
it took
anybody.
us forever to get it done, and we apologize to everyone. I guess what happened was this studio was being used prior, and in that, whoever was using it prior to us was connected to a different studio.
They didn't know we were coming.
No, they didn't. But they should have known because we have the greatest interview in the world happening.
And it's Louis.
Hold on. Here, pass this to the girls. Girls, it's our other member. Somebody answer that. It's Joe. But, yeah, we are back live in Studio B.
Yeah,
we got
Studio
bumped.
Beezy.
We got bumped again.
But that gives us extra time at the end.
It does give us extra time.
Because I know y'all love us. You want to talk to us as much as possible. I mean.
But we want to say good luck to the gentleman that is in Studio A right now. He is taking his ADJ test.
Great luck.
Yeah, he is trying to become.
I hope he has a great time.
He is trying to become me currently and get his own show. But yeah, we're not live any longer, unfortunately. But we are live on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook.
Take your damn phone.
And then, you can leave it down there. I don't need it. And then we also, boys, shout out to the IG family that are right behind us.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
We love you guys.
How's
We
everybody
really
doing?
appreciate it. We know everybody came in today to join and listen to the great interview we have going on. We will be sitting down with the one, the only, the legend and GOAT, Craig Carton.
I was going to do something cool, but then you did that really terrible voice.
I'm
and
so
was
sorry.
like,
I apologize. I had to do the voice, but we're definitely going to give him
This
the
is lit
best
today,
intro.
though. This is a very big deal.
It
guys.
is.
It really is.
For everyone here listening to YouTube, Facebook, whatever, this is a huge deal.
Craig Carton, the GOAT, for everybody who doesn't know, 10-year run at number one on WFAN.
Bro has a better run over the last 2 decades than Drake does. Don't at me, because I will debate any of y'all on that.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is the GOAT. He really is the GOAT.
And
so
how many other people have brought this high of a profile interview to WMSC?
For sports,
A whole lot.
Zero.
A whole lot of
a whole lot of zero.
not to diss the other people.
We
here,
love all
because
our other shows.
We have mad love and respect for everybody, but this
All
just
of
goes
them.
to show that, like we say, Coin Toss is the best sports talk show in the universe.
The universe.
We got to do better with that.
Number one.
Like, universe, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what do you
no, universe. So, who else is not tuning in becomes the question.
think? Craig Carton.
I mean, he'll be a part. He'll be here. He will be here, and I will be recording it.
Please.
And it will be awesome.
Make
So,
sure you press record on that.
I definitely will remember to press record on that. But
So-
let's get this started, gentlemen.
Talking about Craig Carton, he will be here. You know who wasn't there last night? The Denver Broncos offense.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Who let
goodness.
Russ cook?
At
Sean
this
Payton,
point, I would
X.
question it.
Can you lower me a little bit? I leveled in my ears.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'll lower you down a little bit, but let's talk about this, gentlemen. So we knew last night. For anybody that did not know, Thursday night's matchup was the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift versus the completely defeated Broncos. I don't know if the Broncos have won one game yet.
Broncos
They're 1-5.
country. Let's
So
try,
they do
baby,
have
bro.
one W.
Yeah,
They
but-
beat the no, they didn't beat the Jets.
No, they didn't beat
They
the
beat the Bears.
Jets.
They beat the
They
Bears. The
'cause
Bears.
So-
Justin Fields sold.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, let me go over this. So, first off, Russell Wilson might be the worst quarterback
Oh wait.
in the NFL currently.
He's not worse than Mac Jones.
Or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has a broke neck.
And I know.
What can we do with
he
that?
walking out like this, but still.
He has actually been officially ruled out for
Kenny
this weekend.
Pickett's worse than Russell
He got
Wilson.
ruled out already.
Yeah, so we will, as Giants fans,
Danny Dimes got ruled out.
we're all Giants fans here in the studio. So yeah, we will be having Tyrod this weekend.
Honestly,
Tyrese.
oof,
He didn't look bad.
I would take Tyrod Taylor
just
over
kidding.
Mac Jones too.
I would. Mac Jones is so bad right now.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing. But in my opinion, Russell Wilson might be the worst quarterback this year.
Yeah.
He might be. Listen to
Mac
this.
is worse.
I know, but listen to this stat line last night. 13 for 22, 95 yards.
He didn't even have he didn't even put up
Didn't
a
even
buck.
break a buck.
Yo,
Did not break a buck. He had 1 TD and 2 picks. And his QBR, and remember, QBR, I believe, goes up to 180 or
No,
something?
it's
153?
153.8.
Okay,
no, it's 158.3.
158.3. All right. So out of a possible QBR, which stands for quarterback rating for the non-football listeners, his QBR was 10.1 in this game. You explain to me how he's not the worst.
Like I could have just hopped in the game and spiked the ball 10 straight times, and my quarterback rating would have been higher than a 10.1.
I am guaranteeing you, Jen and Steph would be better quarterbacks for the Broncos.
I don't think I would though.
Than Russell Wilson.
I really don't think I would. Look, I mean, this game script, like I'm looking at this game and it is ugly. Like you expect the Chiefs to put up more than 19 points on a defense that allowed 70 points to the Dolphins. Am I crazy for thinking that? No.
No.
Not only did Russell Wilson look terrible, Patrick Mahomes did not look like the Patrick Mahomes that we all know.
And that was going to be my next thing is like the quarterback play in this game, even though statistically
Patrick
looked like he had a great game, and I'll give you that stat line. He went 30 for 40, 306, 1 TD, 1 pick, and a 60.4 QBR.
Patrick Mahomes last night looked like post 2017 Blake Bortles for the Jaguars.
Wow. Wow. Great call.
He
Great call. Love me some Blake Bortles.
Oh,
he
God.
was a great college player, but
shout
didn't
out
work out.
Anyway, yeah, and a huge thing too that the obviously has been a thing week in week out, that Chiefs wide receiver room behind Kelsey, who's going to step up. I think Rashee Rice could eventually be a difference maker, but still right now, Kadarius Toney still looks like a pumpkin, even though he caught a touchdown last night. Richie James I despise him with everything in my body.
Shout out the Giants legend, Richie James.
Justin Watson, I think, was healthy for like 7 plays last night.
He hit a target.
Yeah, and then broke his elbow.
I honestly did expect Jerick McKinnon to get more work, but Pacheco had 6 catches, 36.
Pacheco's starting to turn into a 3-down back, which they really do need.
Yeah.
He was 3rd in the team for receiving yards last night. But wow, I'm all over the place.
It's all good, bud.
I'm not doing good today.
It's okay.
I mean,
Pacheco had 36 yards through the air last night.
Okay.
What is like that is
I mean, we do know that Jerick McKinnon is the guy they really want to get the ball in the air, but if I am a Isaiah Pacheco manager, that's a keep and a possible league winner by the end of the year. If
16
at the trade deadline, my big thing for Kansas City is they need a WR1.
Go get Mike Evans.
There are a lot of big wide receivers that might be. There might be some big. No Jerry Jeudy. As we heard from Steve Smith last night, he would not recommend any NFL team to trade for him because he does not know how to take constructive criticism.
Kansas City making a move for Stephon Diggs.
I could also see.
That's bait. That's actually bait.
I don't know.
Bait.
I don't know if it's bait. I mean, you got to think about it. Stephon Diggs has.
You got to think the capital it takes to get a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs. He's been traded once for a first-round pick. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs have their draft picks, and I'm pretty sure.
They don't
need them. Wait a minute. What?
I don't think. I mean the way I'm talking, the picks,
we're talking about Kansas City.
The picks that you would use, the draft picks, yeah, the draft picks you would use to get Stephon Diggs. Because they don't need those. I thought
you were saying that Kansas City doesn't need Stephon
Oh
Diggs.
no.
They have Walmart cashiers catching passes right now, running slant routes. Like they need Stephon Diggs, or it's obviously just an X factor in that wide receiver room.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift combo can't do everything.
Listen, Go ahead.
What about Kyle Pitts?
No. What do you
think they're going to go trade for another tight end?
Go play a big slot role?
No, he is not Darren Waller. He's not a Darren Waller guy. He's not even a Sam Laporta guy. I would take Sam Laporta out of wide receiver before I take Kyle Pitts.
I completely disagree with that. But
I personally, obviously Sam is a lot bigger. He is a tight end, not a wide receiver.
Exactly. So you just answered my.
But my only thing is Kyle Pitts' ineptitude while he's been at Atlanta would be my uncertainty in making a big trade because Atlanta's going to say
that's not his
he's
fault,
a first round. Well, I'm saying Atlanta's going to max you out,
of course,
to get
8th overall pick.
And that's what I'm saying. Do you pay that level of capital for that? No. You're not paying that level of capital. No,
because you got to think, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you are going to, no matter what, you're going to have a bottom 5 pick in the first round.
Yeah.
It's not like you're giving up a premium draft pick in the high first to go get Kyle Pitts.
What about a guy like Tyler Lockett?
I don't
he's
think
not a wide receiver one. You know who actually
Mahomes?
Got you. I got the answer so that we could hurry up and move on. T. Higgins.
No, they would never do that.
Like him and
That would
Tyler
never
Lockett.
happen.
I feel like those are just players that aren't going to get dealt from their respective teams.
I
Although,
think
can
T.
see- I can
Higgins
see
has
to
a
get
better opportunity, I think, than Tyler Lockett
to get
does
dealt, yes,
to get
but I
dealt.
still don't think he gets. I believe Stephon Diggs would be traded before T. Higgins gets traded.
I mean,
And no, that's not. Bait,
I
Connor.
know. I do agree with that only
There's no-
because Stephon Diggs, I think, would push for the trade.
He's a diva.
Yeah, he would push for the
but
trade.
why, in any right mind, would the Bills or the Bengals trade their number 1 or number 2 wide receiver to the team who's beating up on them in the playoffs every year?
I mean, that's
Why
true.
would that happen?
I mean,
that
fair.
would never in a million years happen. It,
That's
it
fair.
doesn't happen in football.
It
It
depends.
doesn't. It just doesn't. It won't. It won't.
It depends if the return's enough or not.
Yeah.
There's not enough return to see Stephon Diggs catch balls from.
I mean,
Patrick
if they believe Gabe
The
Davis
Bills
could
would
just
have
catch
to
Gabe
Davis is playing
Gabe
way
Davis
better than
terrible, bro.
He's terrible.
I,
I know
believe,
he
I
is.
believe in Santa Claus more than I believe in Gabe Davis being a wide receiver.
He has 4 touchdowns this year, and he has gone. I think 3 weeks now
Yeah,
with
but
a
four,
touchdown,
four.
or 4 weeks with a touchdown now.
I still don't trust him.
He's so terrible.
I mean, that's
he is a good Madden card right now. Though.
if I'm the Chiefs, I'm doing my best to try and try to finesse something. Hey, you got Gabe Davis. We'll throw you a little bone here and there and some picks. But yeah, I have it here. Travis Kelce actually ended up being the bright spot. I have it here that to his ankle injury, Travis Kelce said, "I forgot you existed."
Yep.
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift quote.
Very first song on her
Probably.
newest
Oh
album.
my god.
Yeah, I did call it.
No.
I am not a Swiftie, though.
Yeah, no, he is.
I am not a Swiftie.
No.
I'm not a Swiftie, but yes, Travis Kelce completely
Travis Scott.
Travis Kelce completely forgot about his ankle injury because in the first half he had 7 receptions, 109 yards, and 17.9 PPR points.
Yeah, he's the best tight end in football. There's no doubt about it. Ankle injury, no ankle injury.
He ended the game with 9 catches, 127, and 21.4.
So I have a
points.
funny thing to bring up with you guys in relation to Travis Kelce. You guys know who Ben Kurt is?
No.
Quarterback from a long time ago. Right?
Former NFL quarterback.
All
He's,
right.
he's big on socials now. He's partnered with
Yeah,
Sleeper.
he was an analyst, right?
Yeah, well, he is technically still an
Still.
analyst, whatever. But he tweeted something out this morning. It was about how Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, that Andy Reid is calling every single play he can to get Travis Kelce the ball.
Yeah.
No matter what he's calling,
Yeah.
he's a second option.
Yeah.
And he's saying that not enough teams do that. Not enough teams just have plays for their guy to get the ball. He's saying that the player should always be above the scheme. How do you guys react to that?
I'm not gonna for a player like Travis Kelce.
In that echelon, like I think like there should never be a game like Darren Waller. I've been saying this for like a bunch of weeks now. Darren Waller should never have a game with under 10 targets.
Agreed.
He is by far and away the best target on this Giants team that we've had in probably 3 years.
I mean,
By far and away.
I do it. Micah, do you want to?
No, I was just fixing my thing. But yeah, I agree. Travis Kelce is definitely that type of player. Darren Waller and
You hand me my phone. Sorry.
yeah,
I was trying to indicate without
my bad. I couldn't.
interrupting you.
Why
No,
didn't he take it in the first place?
I didn't need it
That's
until
what
I
I'm saying.
realized that Craig just texted me. So.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, Darren Waller absolutely is that level of player in comparison to the other receivers on the Giants that you have to scheme him in. Agreed for like 10 plus targets a week.
Agreed.
Travis Kelce obviously is literally the premier tight end in terms of scheming your guy to get open. Travis Kelce theoretically with the ShopRite baggers that are on the Kansas City offense, like Travis Kelce should have 15 targets a game. There's no reason that Travis Kelce shouldn't be throwing the ball more than any other player in the NFL in terms of target share percentage.
Especially with how this, receiving core is. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Is like set up. Like there is no one who's like a wide receiver 2 on any team on this team.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice will be there though.
Eventually, I think
Eventually.
he's pretty good, but we said that about Sky Moore. So
Sky Moore is
we'll see.
real quick, if I may.
Yeah.
Just a question for y'all, circling back to Denver. So, I mean, since, let's say, the Herschel Walker trade,
Yeah.
do you guys think that the Russell Wilson trade is the biggest fleece in NFL history?
I honestly think Sean Payton's worse
Okay,
because what has he done? Like I know this is
That's
not
fair.
like I know it's like not his team, and like it could pan out to be better.
All right, gentlemen. I hate to interrupt.
Oh my!
I hate to interrupt.
No, you don't.
Because as of right now, we're having a great conversation. But we have with us one of the greatest New York sports talk show hosts, TV hosts, and one of the best authors in the world. We have to give it up to the legend, Craig Carton. Oh, hold up. Let me make sure I can get your volume in here. I got you on Zoom. Can you hear us, Craig? He can hear us, but we're not getting any of his. We're not getting any of him right now. Hold on. Where's the volume? Why is it not working?
X, make sure you're recording the screen.
I am recording. I'm just trying to get this technical difficulty solved again with this Zoom issue. But hold on. Give me 1 second, sir. All right. I'm having more issues right here. I got him here, but I can't hear his voice.
Do you want to put it out loud?
Yeah, can we do it out loud?
I think so.
How could you help me out real quick?
Yo, I love not being the technical guy.
I know.
I'm just the moral support.
Aaron, how we doing?
I'm the moral support.
I can't hear you, but
I'm the Udonis Haslam of this shit. This stuff.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch.
How you guys doing back there?
Wait, go up.
Word.
Zoom out.
no.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, Insta Live. Appreciate you guys for bearing with us.
Yeah, bro, there's still 4 people.
Can you hear us? All right, you can hear us. Can you? How do we get it?
Is this microphone?
Facebook. I don't know if anybody's
his
on
mic
Facebook,
should be on.
but
Hey, could somebody run and grab the girl out of the studio real quick?
oh jeez.
Marissa. As soon as you walk out, it's that first door on the right.
Craig, I apologize, man.
Yeah, we are so
We
sorry.
should have prepped for this.
We have everything up and ready to go. We have everybody. We could hear him, or we could see his mic working. Why is it not coming out?
Yeah.
I hate how.
Dude, this
Craig, can you say something real quick?
studio hates today.
I don't know what's going on. This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
No,
It's killing me. It's killing me. Yeah, so we're getting somebody in right now to fix this, everybody. But
while we're waiting.
while we're waiting, give us 1 second, Mr. Carr, and we'll be right back. But yeah, let's while we're waiting, let's finish what you guys were talking about Thursday night. The question that you have for us, Micah.
No, yeah, Connor said that the Sean Payton trade was worse than the Russell Wilson trade in terms of a fleecing. Why though? I'm curious.
Well, I think that if you're trading that much capital for a coach who can't make a half decent defense look actually good,
That's fair.
they have probably the best corner in football. Pretty average everywhere else, but that team should not be letting up 70
I
points.
think
anytime,
I think the biggest reason that the Russell Wilson trade is worse is because the Russell Wilson trade led to the Sean Payton trade.
yeah.
So that trade never
That's
would
a
have
good
happened
point.
if they never went out and overpaid for Russell Wilson.
They just have no picks ever.
Can't hear
like
him.
literally
Now.
at
I
all.
have Zoom on. I have the Zoom mic.
So I think Russ probably is worse because that contract is disgusting.
It's
too.
terrible,
I
and
gotta
they
look
lost.
it up.
Even like Shelby Harris, who was a throw-in going towards Seattle, has been like
no, we
worth more than Russell Wilson in
Yeah,
terms of what they
um,
gave up,
If we have it on, I can't.
the total commitment for the Broncos is
And I have
7
his
years,
Zoom mic on.
296.
which is
which
probably
like
7
wild.
years too
on
long.
top of 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a fifth.
Noah
and 3
Fant,
players.
Shelby Harris, and
There's a D tackle, right? Or Shelby Harris a D tackle.
Shelby Harris
Is there any
DN.
way that we could get his voice in here?
Well, I would have to see what it would look like in a recording. So
Ah.
maybe it could be one of those things where like it would suck, but it could be one of those things where you guys can't hear him, but maybe his voice is still being recorded.
Okay.
That's kind of
This
the
is
only
like
thing that I can think of.
Biggest buzz of all time.
This is actually like,
Unless you try putting him on the phone and you get a aux cord. Is there an aux cord in here?
We could just like rotate spots.
Is there an aux cord?
We have aux right here.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could transfer it to my phone and record it.
We need a
Would
dongle though.
Would it still be saved over? Pro Tools?
right. Dude, this is like
if you record
this
on
is
your
like the
phone,
episode from hell. Like this is
like whatever screen recording or something that you do, you record it onto your phone and then you can import it into Pro Tools. It'll suck because you'll have to edit some things around.
Okay. So
but
there's
you'll at least still have the recording.
okay. So there's no way we could get them through this.
Not that I know of.
'cause these
I've never
damn
personally actually
headphones.
used this for a Zoom recording. That's kind of not what I usually do in here.
All right. Well. All right. Well. All right. We'll switch to a cell phone. We'll have the cell phone. Will that still be?
Do we have a dongle though to connect to your phone?
Oh yeah. We don't have a dongle, do we?
Check Studio A, see if they're using it.
All right. Well. All right. Well, as of right now, we could continue. We'll continue the episode. We'll speak to him and just watch his mouth move. I'll watch his mouth move, and we'll just hope that what he's saying is recording.
Well, you know,
Is it?
Can I see?
Yeah.
Pro Tools?
Yeah. Pro Tools is right down there. It's recording everything we're saying, so we're.
So,
What he's saying.
That's the thing. I don't know if it is picking it up or
Have you
not.
been recording for 20 minutes
Yep.
Let's ride.
without knowing if he's been recording?
Yeah, I don't know if he's being picked up,
Should
but
we continue talking about college football?
yeah, go ahead.
X, turn your mic off though.
All right.
All right. Anyway.
Hello.
Welcome back. Apologies again because this is the episode from hell. Everything that's going wrong is going wrong.
It's going wrong. It's going. It's wrong.
You know what's going right though? Michael Penix's Heisman hopes this season, baby. Oregon takes on Washington this week in probably the biggest marquee matchup in college football. Bo Nix, who has looked phenomenal, taking on top 2 Heisman favorite Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. Connor, who you got in that game?
Oh, it's close, man. I think it's really close. I think Bo Nix is like really good, but I also think Michael Penix is like probably better.
Definitely better.
I think I'm gonna lean Oregon here.
Yeah, Oregon.
Just because I think Bo Nix has that like a little bit more of a little bit of swagger.
Oregon's
to him.
got a 54.8% chance to win, which with Washington at home, I don't think I would swing that way. I would probably go Washington because they're at home.
It's going to be a good game.
This is going to be the game that decides if Michael Penix leapfrogs into the first Heisman position.
He said that we could just do it next Friday.
Whatever you want to do.
All right, yeah.
You can't just like have him just talking out loud and you guys just take one ear out.
I don't know how to get the volume out though.
This is
Can you play it out the computer? Continue.
no, you good, bro.
Is there any way we could play his instead of it playing through here? Is it can it play the volume through the computer?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, go ahead, guys.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, no.
I do think if Michael Penix and Washington does win this game, I think it's probably the number one for Penix.
If Penix balls out,
I also he has to ball out. And like we said this before, like you can win a game, a big defensive game, but as a quarterback, you got to throw for like 350 and 6 touchdowns.
exactly, especially against a team like Oregon. I mean, that's a real defensive test when it comes to a quarterback. Always has been. Penix obviously has shown that he can perform against top teams like Oregon, but you know, him and Caleb Williams are obviously the 1A, 1B right now.
I think it's 1-2.
Who do you think's 1?
Caleb.
Okay, that's fair. I have Caleb 1A.
No, but Caleb's 1. There's no 1B.
Okay.
I'm playing with you.
I was like, yo. But speaking of Caleb Williams, the other the matchup we want to talk about, USC taking on Notre Dame.
And I do actually really like Notre Dame in this game.
Okay.
I do. I think they showed that they could compete with good teams like Ohio State.
100% agree. That game was what a 1.
They scored a touchdown in the last 1 second.
All right, gentlemen, give me 1 quick second. Mr. Carton, we're going to try one more time to get you in through the computer volume. So can you give us oh, he already exited.
He left.
Yeah, he left. All right, never mind then. All right, well, it's a nice try. We tried our best. We'll try to have it set up for next week. Unfortunately, it's just not our our day.
In Studio B, man.
This is the unfortunate part, you know. But he did join us. He was live.
I
we had
definitely
him
saw
for a
his
little
face.
bit.
I saw his face.
He was he's a good sport.
Good looking dude.
He did say that he has no problem rescheduling. Unfortunately, that's just how it works.
Yeah. Oh well.
You know. But yeah. So
let's jump back into the college matchups though.
yeah, let's just jump back in. I'll follow
Before
you
me and
guys.
Micah talk about more USC Notre Dame stuff. Who you got? Oregon, Washington.
Oregon, Washington.
At Washington, by the way.
Yeah, in Washington.
In Washington, that's hard to go against Penix. They've been playing so well all throughout the year. I really like Washington.
Very clean offense too.
Very,
few
very,
turnovers.
very, very clean offense.
Who's their wide receiver? Is it Roma Dunes? Romeo Dunes?
He's got big numbers. That's all I remember.
He's real good, bro.
So I'm gonna go Penix in Washington.
Okay, word. Moving back to USC Notre Dame though, just like Michael Penix this is probably his biggest test in terms of being the Heisman 1 or Heisman 2. Caleb Williams also has another huge test. Notre Dame defense is absolutely no joke. And if Caleb Williams falters, even if USC wins, I think if Caleb Williams falters, I think Penix might overtake him in that one spot if Penix balls out.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, and Audric Estime, your Jersey boy.
Audric Estime.
Jersey boy, he could run. I think he might be the player to watch that game.
But dude, they have a lot of running backs on the roster. If you look at this box score from the Ohio State game when they were trying to run the damn football,
Estime's got over 100 carries this year though.
I know, but a lot of these guys do have a lot of carries. Like, look, hold on, let me pull it up.
But I know he's in the back end top 10 of a lot of people's Heisman voting. I think he could climb the ladder a spot, maybe two. When's the last time?
Audric Estime 14 carries. Jeremiah Love 8 carries. Prince 3. Payne 6. Ford 2.
Yep.
1. Hartman had 4. Like this team, like there's a lot of players on this team who like they love.
They can carry the rock.
Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Prince, Jabrian Payne, like this guy's a freshman, and he's scoring touchdowns against at the time his 6th ranked team. Like,
Yep.
This is it's a really balanced attack. I really like their head coach. I think, they do have a really young receiving core too.
Of course.
They have 2 freshmen starting, which is wild. But I mean,
that Notre Dame offense in like 2 years is going to be
very, very, very scary.
They got a quarterback again.
Well, yeah, the guy they got right now, he reminds.
Hartman's tough, bro.
Yeah,
I like
Hartman's
Sam
tough,
Hartman.
but I just don't think
he's no Brandon Wimbush, but
he's just personally he's not the quarterback I think that he was going to take them to the college playoffs.
Okay, well
That's
they
the
do
best
have
way to
2
put it.
losses. So
I
that's
do
fair.
they do have a sophomore. His name's Steve Angeli. He actually played against Audric Estime in high school in Upper Bergen County.
Guess what state he was born in?
Jersey.
Yeah,
He went to
put
school
some
at Bergen
respect.
Catholic, bro. He's a
Put
dog.
some respect on us.
He's a dog. You should look up his high school tape when you get the chance. Crazy.
All right, so that's definitely something that we got on the list. One thing I forgot to add into this part of the segment was one thing I wanted to talk to you guys was we have some big fights coming up, and I know Connor brought it up, and since we have,
Are we talking UFC?
Oh
my God.
Since due to unfortunate circumstances,
on Christmas.
we lost our interview for the day. We have to replace some of the scheduling. But yeah, go ahead, Connor. I'll serve you this. Serve you your red meat.
Take us away.
Take us
big
away.
dog.
What is going on in
you
Abu?
guys-
What is going on in Abu Dhabi? Give
You
us the
guys-
update because I heard there has been some change
I'm
to
honored.
the schedule.
Yeah.
The
so-
original card has been changed. So what was the original card? Give the listeners the original card, then give us the updated and why it was updated.
So originally,
And when and where? Sorry.
I got you. So it's this not 8 days from now, Saturday, October 21st. Islam Makhachev, one of the Khabib descendants, he trains with Khabib and his dad, and he's of Dagestan descent. He's a very good fighter.
He will kill you.
He's a legit he's a trained murderer. He was supposed to fight Charles Oliveira, who had a really bad fall from grace, had to let go of the title because he had an injury, and then he lost a fight to Justin Gaethje, and then it was all downhill from there. But he is making his way back up. He beat Dariush, who was a very respected fighter at the time. Now he's just coming in, and he gets cut on his 5th round of sparring. 10 days out from the fight, cuts his eyebrow open, and he gets stitches. You can't fly with stitches all the way to Abu.
No game, baby.
You can't fly with stitches all the way to Abu Dhabi. So instead of Charles Oliveira fighting for this lightweight title, they got Alexander the Great Volkanovski, who currently holds the featherweight title, if I'm not mistaken. But he's moving up 10 pounds to fight at lightweight this weekend.
No, I thought it was welter.
8 days notice?
No.
I was light.
On 9 days
9
notice,
days notice, which is
Alexander
absurd.
Volkanovski will look to be the second ever double belt holding champion of all time. You know who the first one was?
It was the one and only.
notorious Conor McGregor.
I had to try to.
And these guys, and look, Islam and Volk have fought before. It went full 5. A lot of people said Volk got robbed in that fight. Islam did make it out winning. That is one of 2 Volk losses on
This
his,
is yeah
his
no
entire
this
resume. Look,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
it
going
is
to
like
be
Volk.
probably the fight of the year, and I have no doubt about it. Regardless of how people are going to say Volk is
You
injured.
don't think that Paul versus Dylan Dennis is gonna be the fight of the year, Connor?
No, this is going to be the UFC fight of the
I'm
year.
just,
This is
I'm just
definitely-
playing.
and-
I'm just playing.
What I also saw that besides Volk jumping in to fight Islam, there was also an even bigger change. Well, not even bigger than that, but
Yeah.
another
So-
big change
Yeah.
at the welterweight
It's actually middleweight.
or middleweight. That's okay. Middleweight title.
Yeah. So
What is going on there?
It's not a title fight. It is going to go 5 though. Hamzat Chimaev is another one of those Dagestani wrestlers.
He
who
will
are-
also kill you.
Yeah, train murderer again. And he's fighting Kamaru Usman.
Yes.
So for a while had this huge reign over that division that he was holding. Obviously everyone knows about the head kick that what's his face? Rocky hit him with. You know who Rocky is?
The British.
The British Rocky.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't really watch UFC, so I'm.
You
trying
got to
to
get into it,
I'm
bro.
trying to
It's a big deal.
all my friends do, but I don't know.
Kamaru-
I will get more into. I promise.
Kamaru Usman is one of the longest reigning champions
See,
of all time.
I know who that guy is.
Yes.
And Kamaru Usman
kicked
versus
in the head.
Hamzat. Kamaru is a 235 underdog, plus 235 on the money line. I do think this is going to be another great fight, and this card gets 10 times better. I think 100%.
You know, last time I bet on the underdog on a fight that I like with a guy that I knew, I won like $400. So if
And the
I might have to.
Yeah.
Yo,
The guy who pulled out is actually, his name's Paulo Costa.
Yes.
He's not really, I think they kind of gave him that fight because he's, hasn't fought in like literally 2 years, and they knew Hamzat was going to kill him. But now you bring Kamaru in there, and it's a better stylistic matchup for Kamaru to fight Hamzat than Paulo, which is to me is really big. And Kamaru hasn't fought in a while too. He's coming in, he's moving up a weight class to fight, and I think it's going to be a very good fight. This is going to be a very good night, and this undercard is good too. Like they have all the guys. Like look at how many names. Can you pronounce those?
oh,
They're
jeez.
all
Are you
like-
asking me to pronounce?
No,
them?
I don't
They're
want
all
you to, 'cause
Russian
you're
and
gonna-
Dagestani.
No,
Dagestani, like-
all I know is they all will kill you.
Yeah, like
That's pretty much.
And all these guys train together too.
Yeah, I've
Islam,
seen the training videos.
Hamzat, Magomed, Ikram, Said,
they're all trained by the GOAT.
They all train together.
And they're trained by the
what's
GOAT.
What's this dude's name?
Said Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, Nurmagomedov is
Well, this is like a
Is it
a
Said?
Khabib. It's a close Khabib guy.
Yeah, that's probably that guy's probably related to Khabib. With
He
the,
is. He
yeah.
is.
But yeah, I wanted to get,
Johnny Walker's fighting though. Johnny Walker's electric. This guy's 6'6", 205, bro. With an 82-inch reach.
He just-
he
he's
runs
lost
around
his
and
mind.
throws kicks, bro. It's actually insane. But I think this is gonna be a great fight weekend. October 21 in Abu Dhabi, which is nice for us because it'll start a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I wanted to give Connor his red meat for the show.
No,
As
of
everybody
course.
could see, he literally turned into a child
Tape it down, buddy.
very, very
Call me
quickly.
Joe Rogan. How much I know about this?
But I will bring this up to you guys because we got the time, and it is still in the world of UFC. I was watching the Pat McAfee show this week, and they had Joe Rogan on. Joe Rogan obviously spoke a little bit about the doping in dope
USADA stuff?
the USADA stuff, where they're moving away from USADA for their doping testing for their sport. They are working on trying to get another person in. So he spoke a little bit about that. But the one thing he could not stop talking about before he left was that he went to Las Vegas and went to the U2 concert, I think it was.
You too?
Is it U2 or I don't? It might be U2 or no. What? Yeah, no, Vegas, the Sphere. Who was? Yeah, okay, yeah. I wasn't losing my mind. U2
You already
performed.
lost it, buddy.
U2 performed in the Sphere, and if you haven't seen the clips of that, editor Josh Buckley and Connor, please edit this into the film cutscene. Oh, I try to clap my hands
That
and
was
realize I have a mic.
goofy.
Wow.
Totally forgot.
Good stuff,
There we
OG.
go. But yeah, he said he went to the concert in the Sphere and said it was the greatest experience of his life. He could not get over how amazing it is. And next year for Mexican Independence Day, he will be putting on the greatest live fighting event ever
In the
in the Sphere.
That's crazy.
And on top of it, not only will it be inside the Sphere, it will be broadcasted on the Sphere.
That's wild.
What is you
I
guys'
gotta
opinions on
get
that
back
one?
out to Vegas.
Have you ever been?
Yeah,
Sick.
probably 4 years ago now.
You little DJ.
I went with my mother and my grandmother.
You little
it was,
DGen.
it was lit, but
I think that actually might be insane. I think like if you're gonna do it for what do you say? What month is gonna do
It would be
Hispanic
next
Heritage, right?
next year, Mexican Independence Day.
Okay, so it might be a boxing thing then.
No, UFC.
That'll be UFC.
100% UFC. He said.
Gonna get Brandon
I
Moreno.
don't
in
know.
there?
I don't know why he specifically said Mexican Independence Day. I don't know if
Well,
there's
it's
something
probably
around
they
that.
probably have a schedule thing, and they probably need to like there was probably gonna be an event anyway surrounded
Okay.
by that. There are a lot of women's fighters who are good
Yeah.
of Mexican descent.
So I know
Um,
they do, like you said, they do have Brendan Moreno.
Yeah. I don't know if he's Mexican though. I might be wrong.
No, I think he is.
I'm
Brandon
not sure.
Moreno. I believe he might be. But yeah, are you guys gonna get tickets if
I'm
you can?
going if it's there. Nate Diaz, bring Nate Diaz out of retirement, please. Holy shit, that'd be insane.
I mean,
yo,
ladies.
coin toss out to Vegas.
Yeah, ladies in the back, socials.
Come on, that would be crazy.
Brand deal, get us all to Vegas, please. I
Dominic
mean,
Cruz.
since this is on
Ortiz,
this is on YouTube, it's a little different, but we are still associated with WMSC, so we can't get a brand deal.
What are you talking, Brandon? What are you talking about? What you talking about?
What's a brand deal?
But maybe we could, maybe American Airlines could like fly us out for free for some reason. We'll do like a
imagine.
post or something.
I log into my American Airlines account and I suddenly have an unlimited amount of credit to fly.
Yeah,
So many points. Anyway.
Yeah. but yeah, I just had to bring that up
Right,
while we
right,
were
right.
on the UFC talk. That was probably the most interesting thing I had seen. So let's move on. Let's get to the one thing these two definitely love talking about.
Yes, sir.
Let's
Starts
get
and
to the
sits, baby.
Starts and sits.
Bruh.
So do we know who won last week?
I went 2-2, or wait, 4-4, like 50%.
Oh, you split it.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't write
Wait.
down any of mine, so I don't know.
All right,
but
so
I know I had a Rich.
So what we're gonna have to do, since we should have been keeping track of you guys' record.
We're really bad at keeping track.
All right, so Steph, we're gonna start fresh.
what the?
We're gonna start fresh because you guys haven't kept count.
I killed
you guys,
it last week.
I know you did, but unfortunately, nobody recorded Connor's
Doesn't matter, guys. Whatever.
Connor's a bum.
So
I'm
we're
still
going.
beating you.
So we're going to start recording it. Steph, mark it down. We have it in our script there, picks for start and sits. But next episode we will tell the record, and then the girls will say we'll have it written down who won.
Also, starting next week, every Tuesday, you could take a look. We're gonna be putting out weekly positional fantasy football rankings starting next Tuesday. So if you want more fantasy football content, definitely something to look out for.
Yes, sir.
And another waiver wire
Always the waiver
update.
wire.
If you guys do like the graphics, let us know.
Yeah.
Whoever did that is really talented, though.
Yeah, right.
That kid must have put in so much work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Like he must have been standing there for hours,
Kid's
just
so
slaving
bum.
away.
I mean, whoever he is.
He
He should be on coin toss. Whoever he
He
is.
should
Yeah,
be on-
whoever he is definitely deserves a co-hosting
What's
position.
good?
Yo, nice to meet you, bro. Anyway,
All right.
But yeah, let's get to
Let's
this,
get into it.
gentlemen. Let's start with Micah, obviously, because Micah's on this. His name is gigantic on this script here. Micah, who is your first start for QB?
So my start this week is who was my sit last week. I'm starting Dak Prescott.
Wow.
With that primetime game against the Chargers. Their defense is terrible. Fifth
Wow.
best matchup for opposing fantasy quarterbacks this year. And the game script shouldn't phase out Dak no matter what. I don't think either team is going to blow the other out. I think him and Jay Herbo might get into a little shootout through the air. One can only hope because we haven't seen that side of Dak this year, but we know he's capable of it, and I think this is the week that he finally breaks out.
So funny thing, you said as soon as you said Dak's name, Stephanie's eyes lit up in the back corner.
L Cowboys.
And
fan.
she is
I
the
still like him,
Cowboys.
though.
She is the Cowboys fan of our team, so she was in love with that answer. But funny
I
thing
still don't like
is, I've been hearing over the air in different sports talk shows. Amari Cooper might be the reason why the Cowboys have been struggling. People are starting to think CeeDee Lamb is not the wide receiver one that they
I think
thought he
that's
was
some
going to
BS.
be.
I think it's terrible.
And that Amari Cooper was the guy that was able to get over the top
CeeDee Lamb.
and open it up for Dak
But
to throw over the top.
CD outproduced
CeeDee Lamb
Amari.
right now is better than Amari Cooper ever was in a Dallas uniform.
I'm not
agree
going to
with
challenge you on that one,
that. He was
but
low key better on the Browns.
yeah, that's all I was hearing. But
Low
you're
key.
going with a start for Dak, okay?
Yeah.
So
I got
Connor, who you got?
I got T Lizzie,
Ooh.
T Law, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, who is not a top 5 quarterback in football there.
He's
dog.
actually no, he's not top 5. He's top 4.
You said he.
So Trevor Lawrence this week, the offense has looked terrible up until this point. Calvin Ridley actually did have a better game last week.
Christian Kirk, wide receiver 1.
So I do have him on my fantasy team. So I've been kind of monitoring him a lot. He plays Indianapolis this week, and he had 17 PPR points against them week 1. They're not going to have any Anthony Richardson. I think it'll be more of a throwing game. They're not going to be a lot. There's not going to be a lot of chew clock going on. Yeah, I think it's a good start.
All right.
I like that because he's quarterbacking my fantasy team this week. But
Okay, me too.
I mean, I have Calvin Ridley on one of the 3 fantasy teams.
give me
I
Christian
manage.
Kirk or Calvin Ridley.
I'll take.
Christian Kirk's getting more targets.
I know, but my only thing is Calvin Ridley. The biggest thing for me was they gave him the armband in London.
I'm just biased because I own Christian Kirk.
I mean, yeah, but the armband for me is what did it. Once I saw him get the armband, there's no way you make a person a captain
Yep.
and he doesn't get the
Fair.
volume
Yep.
of a captain.
Fair enough.
So, but who do you have for the sit, Micah?
For the sit this week, I'm going C.J. Stroud, and it's not a knock to his. It's not a knock to his
Wow.
talent. It's the matchup. The Saints are allowing the fourth fewest passing yards per game this year with 183. They're also allowing the 5th fewest points per game this year, 15.2. Marshawn Lattimore has looked great. Tank Dell probably won't play because of his concussion.
He actually is ruled out.
Yeah, so Nico
Okay.
Collins might get clamped up, and I mean, yeah, Robert Woods is cool, but like
Another Dalton Schultz legacy game.
we'll see, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the matchup to me is not appealing. I would absolutely have him outside of my top 10 this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, C.J. Stroud is my sit.
That is good for me. I traded him like last week.
I don't know if I
and
like that, but
I got what I needed out of
I
it.
actually am sitting Lamar Jackson this week.
What?
you're
Yeah.
sitting Lamar Jackson.
That is almost a no in my world.
Oh wait, yeah, it makes sense.
You like my logic here? You read it?
All I saw was Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So Tennessee Titans have a perennially great run defense.
For
like
some reason.
every year, it makes absolutely no sense. Jeff Simmons might not be playing. I don't know if he's ruled out yet, but if he's not playing,
Doesn't
this
matter
is kind of
who they
shaky.
throw
But
in.
look, honestly, Zach Moss had the game of his life last week and had like 176 on Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen every week. Lamar Jackson, he does it on the ground, and it's not always design stuff. He's really good out of the concept of the play.
Yeah.
But if he's not running the ball, he's throwing the ball
To
to
guys that can't
receivers
catch.
who dropped the ball 7 times last week. That is a ridiculous number. That number is actually like blasphemous.
Nelson Aguilar
Like,
legacy game. baby.
why is he in the game? I don't understand, bro.
I mean, that's true.
And look, this is not a knock on Lamar Jackson because I think he is a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't start a guy who has wide receivers who can't catch and a run defense that is like stacked. Like I don't see how they win.
I mean,
I really don't.
I will
Unless
say
I did write that like the drops. Like it's obviously gonna like
You're not gonna have 7 drops
it's-
every
You're
week.
gonna have
Yeah.
positive regression there, but
Yeah.
like at the same time, it's like, how do you expect? Like you don't think there's gonna be 3 drops?
Yeah.
Like those could be touchdowns.
Just bench Nelson Aguilar. I like him being on a team just makes the team worse. Like even
Bro,
if he's
but,
not dropping,
but
the
Isaiah
ball-
likely wide. Like I don't care.
is
Let him
Nelson
run routes.
Aguilar is Nelson Aguilar what Chase Claypool was for the Browns?
Yo, low key, give
For the
me Chase
Browns.
Claypool.
I mean, he's not
Steelers.
there, and
Steelers.
I'm saying for the Browns, you got to think he was on the Browns team. They said he was a cancer to the locker room.
Who are
They
you-
got rid of
Wait, who are you talking about?
Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool was a Brown.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Oh, no,
Bear.
Sorry,
Bear,
Bear. I'm talking Bear. He was a Steeler.
No,
but
no.
with the Bears, they claims, he was like a cancer to the locker room. They trade him.
Ben
The
Bennett.
very next week, Justin Fields goes for a ridiculous game, and then the
Yeah.
week after that, Thursday night,
It's
he
just that
blows
bad
up.
karma. But no, like Nelson Aguilar is just terrible. I've been a Nelson Aguilar hater for I don't know how many years now. Anytime I will get to kick him while he's
Since
down,
he was an
I will.
Eagle.
I mean, for me, I started hating him ever since that dude put out that that
EDP?
that guy got went viral for his video about Nelson Aguilar dropping and he could catch babies out of
EDP, who we
window.
won't talk about on air.
No,
but,
not EDP.
Yeah.
No, not him.
Oh,
There's another guy that was talking about
You know
like
what I'm talking
catching
about, though, right?
catching babies out of burning
no,
buildings
it was on the news. It was on the news.
Yeah, it was on the
All right,
news.
my fault.
All right, but let's
Anyway,
move along to the next one.
start 'em
Who
out,
you got
guys.
for running back starts, Micah?
Give me Rashad White if you can fit him in your lineup somehow.
Scrumptious.
He's got 3+ catches in 3 out of 4 games played this year, so obviously PPR, he gets an upgrade. Tampa has held their own this year, and it shouldn't be a blowout by any means, so Rashad White should be factored into the game script the whole day.
Where do they play?
I didn't even write it down.
I didn't either. I'm terrible.
It's a, oh God, this is like really not good.
Hold on, I'm pulling up right now.
Indy?
I think it might be in
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Which
Detrizzy.
Detroit's offense is great, but I
It's
don't
gonna
think
be a run-heavy game.
I don't
now.
think it's going to be a blowout. Rashad White is clearly the lead back in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
There's no one competing with him for touches. So the volume alone, I would start him if you could. Plus the catches they're there every single week.
Yeah. Connor?
I got Jay Tiz, Jonathan
Are
Taylor,
you capable of saying people's
Jonathan
names?
Taylor. No, look, I like Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, everyone knows he is a phenomenal talent, and they said he's getting his work ramped up this week. Do I agree with that? Probably not. I do think Zach Moss is like actually good.
Yeah, he's
Nope.
proven
Like
it.
barring, bro, you can't tell me he's not
Zach
good.
Moss could run for 150 yards every game for the rest of the year, and I still will say that Zach Moss isn't a good running back.
That's actually crazy.
I mean, that's how a lot of
Bro,
people
like-
felt about David Montgomery.
I
but
still
look at
feel
him
that
this
way.
year.
That's what you don't like Monty? I think Monty's good too. There's a lot of good running backs.
anyway, my
nowadays,
bad.
bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, I think Jonathan Taylor is probably one of the most talented running backs in the NFL. Like pure talent, disregarding injury and
Yeah.
all this drama that's been happening. But he did not look good last week. Like he really didn't look good. And I might be taking a shot in the dark here on this start, but he got his feet wet. And the coach just said his work is going to get ramped up. I expect it to be more 50-50. Maybe not on snaps, but on touches. They're going to manufacture him into the offense more. And this Jacksonville defense is not crazy good. It's okay. It's serviceable, especially for the South. But I think that's a good start this week. Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. So who we got for sits, gentlemen? Connor, you go first this time because Micah went first the last time. Who you got for a sit?
I got Alex Madison.
What?
That's okay. I dumped him in a few leagues. So.
Yeah, so I think removing Justin Jefferson from this offense really takes away the touchdown upside that they had in the beginning of the year. Regardless if Alex Madison was scoring any touchdowns, like I know he had the touchdown on the goal line last week.
2 through the air, I think.
He has 2 through the air, but they're like within like 20 yards. So
Okay.
it's not like it's like valuable touches. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I just think he's not that good. And also last week I think it was lowest snap share of the season.
Yeah, it's starting to
Cam
turn into a
Akers-
timeshare.
Cam Akers is kind of working his way in, which I don't really agree with. I think he's terrible.
Cam
but
Akers is awful.
yeah.
I mean,
Alex
he
Madison
got
is a much
booted
better
out of
player.
Listen,
LA
every
for a
time I say a
reason.
running back's awful, like Zach Moss, he pops off. So maybe
Do
Cam
you think
Akers.
Kyron's terrible?
I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's great.
So you think Kyron's better than Zach Moss?
Yes.
Yes.
Tripping.
I would say he is, but it's just a matter of
I hate Zach Moss.
offense being built around one than the
I'm
other.
sure Zach Moss is a really nice guy. I just don't like him. But
I mean, I will say this for Zach Moss: the offense, and now with Anthony Richardson's injury, might change a little bit.
Yeah.
You have Gardner Minshew,
which
pocket passer.
We'll hear about the receivers later. Connor will
Yeah.
tell us about that. But
but
No,
yeah,
I got a stat for y'all.
okay.
okay.
So
It's about Zach Moss.
no, it's not actually. Kyron Williams, as a player, is averaging the most expected yards per attempt. So the team is creating holes, and
he's not hitting him.
he's not hitting them. He's averaging 3.87 yards per carry, which is ridiculous. He's averaging a negative rush yards over expected per attempt. He is not a good runner. He might be a good pass catcher and pass
And that's-
blocker,
and
but
that's what it is.
I don't think he's good.
you
But,
cannot convince me that Zach Moss is not better than him.
but I don't like Zach Moss, so therefore
Yeah, you're-
He's
it's-
biased.
it's a
yeah,
lie.
it-
You're
it's
lying.
So like
yeah.
literally any other player that produces like Zach Moss, I would take them over Kyron Williams. But just the fact that it's Zach Moss, I'm taking Kyron Williams.
Okay, well, all right, Micah. Speaking of running backs you don't like, who are you not liking for this one? Which I don't agree with, but you could go ahead.
I'm gonna go Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
OK State legend Chuba Hubbard. There's no
Chuba.
Miles Sanders. There's no Miles Sanders this week. Miami should blow the doors off of the Panthers. Game script is going to work completely against him and the rest of that running back room. And he's got 47 touches this year, and he hasn't found the end zone yet. Theoretically, he should have at least hit pay dirt once. So I don't know. They just don't like him near the goal line. It doesn't look like they're giving him the
But
ball.
who else are they giving the ball to? LaVisca Chenault?
Adam Thielen?
I mean, like running the
No,
ball.
yeah, running the ball.
Yeah, that's
I don't
fair.
know.
They're gonna have to run the ball.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to run the ball when they get in close. Is my point. I think they're going to throw it.
Okay.
With
I
5'9" Bryce.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I
Fair.
can see that. I can see that. They're passing the ball a lot better than expected this year. I thought we all expected Bryce to be good, but he's not great. He has been
He's
good.
learning.
But what
He's
has
in a really rough situation.
what has overperformed, in my opinion, is the wide receiver room. Adam Thielen, 40-year-old guy, is
It's
like,
not-
hey,
you guys are like the same age, right?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, I think Adam Thielen is probably really overperforming, but like
Of course.
the receivers still are terrible.
Jonathan Mingo hasn't
Jonathan
really
Mingo-
done anything.
I like him though. I like him a lot.
Yeah, but he hasn't done much.
Yeah, but he's going to.
Okay.
I
Fair
forget.
enough. All right, so
but,
let's
you know-
move. Let's move to your wide receiver though. Since you don't like
my
the
starter
Panthers
sit.
room,
My
you don't
starter
like the
sit.
Panthers.
Oh, well,
You don't like the
Start.
Panthers room. So who do you want to start instead of anybody from the Panthers wide receiver room?
instead of Adam Thielen, I'm definitely starting Josh Downs.
Over Adam Thielen?
I don't know about that one. Adam Thielen over. I mean, Josh Downs over Adam Thielen.
Last week he had 15.7 points. All came after Gardner Minshew came in the game.
Yeah.
In quarters that Gardner Minshew has played in, or for all the snaps, I think the stat was, all the snaps that Gardner Minshew has played, Josh Downs has a 26% target share, which would rank third in the league, I think, right now, fourth in the league, behind Puka, Tyreek Hill, and Jay Jettis. Sorry. His draft capital is, went in the mid-second round, I think, right?
That sounds right.
Mid-second, late second,
Yeah,
and he
no,
has a 70+% snap share as a rookie. I think this team doesn't really have a lot of options outside of him and Michael Pittman. I do like Ogletree. He's pretty
Alec
good.
Pierce is a bum.
Alec Pierce is terrible. I think they're going to go to him a lot this weekend.
All right.
I like that.
Who you got for a start, Michael?
Wide receiver, I'm starting big boy Jacoby Myers out of Las Vegas.
That's not like he's gonna pop off.
There's no way that you were gonna argue with me on Jacoby Myers.
Look at his game log.
No, I know he's been solid, but I know
he's not been solid.
I
He's
know
been
people
great.
that aren't starting
He's
Jacoby
been
Myers.
great. He's been. Then, I don't know what league you're playing in. I want to
Yeah.
get in your league.
League
Bro.
with deep wide receiver rooms. Would you like me to pick a different one? Would that make you happy?
No, I don't really care. I'm still gonna beat you this week
Jackass.
anyway.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Jacoby Myers got 10 plus targets in 3 out of 4 games played this year. The Pats D just lost Christian Gonzalez for the year, so they don't really have anybody that's going to cover. Devontae Adams is going to pop off, but I can't say start Devontae Adams. And it's going to be a revenge game. I think it's going to be a revenge game.
Oh, that's actually a good pull. Now you gotta leave it now.
Yeah,
You gotta leave it now.
so hold them. But so definitely get Jacoby Myers in the lineup if you can. And if you are, again, one of the aforementioned people that aren't starting Jacoby Myers, I don't know what you're doing.
What are you doing?
I don't
All
know.
right.
Who you sitting, big dog?
I want to stare at
Oh.
X when I say this. We're sitting AJ Brown this week.
Well, I
That's
mean,
absurd.
that works for me.
Absurd.
I personally, I had Devontae Smith in the one league that I was going in, but I traded him this week for Jordan Addison.
Straight up.
No, not straight up. It was
Did you get
Devontae Smith. I gave up Smith for Addison and Logan Thomas. And the person,
Wait, you did
Really, dude.
Wait, you did what?
He
I
traded
gave up-
Devontae Smith for Jordan Addison and Logan Thomas.
yeah, I like
Really, dude.
the way I look at it. One,
Really, dude.
Listen. My wide receiver 1 is already Tyreek Hill. My wide receiver 2
Tyreek.
is I have to look at
Jordan
this real
Addison?
quick.
It doesn't
No,
matter. It
no,
doesn't matter. You know why I'm saying AJ Brown though?
Addison is going to be my flex.
Cool.
That's what Devontae Smith
Terrible
was on
trade.
that
if
team.
honestly though, if Jay Jett is a shutdown, they're probably in the same. They're probably in the same tier for me.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
I think it's close.
our starting,
Low end wide receiver 2, mid wide receiver 2.
yeah,
Give me Smitty.
I
Yeah,
mean, give
no.
me Smitty, but they're in the same tier.
That's what I'm saying. Same tier. The
We
volume
haven't
is going to
seen
be
Jordan.
there.
We haven't seen Jordan Addison actually go up against a CB1 for a whole game yet.
That's
a good point.
true. That's true. But I do think with the team already coming out publicly.
Don't sleep on KJ Osborne.
No, I'm not sleeping on him. But the team has publicly came out and said his opportunities are ramping up due to the Jay Jettis injury.
Did you see the clip of Kevin O'Connell? He was like, "Yeah, we're speeding up on Jordan Addison."
Yeah, that's what.
And then the guy was like, "Was there a pun intended there?" Because he got arrested for the speeding thing over the summer, and he was like, "No pun intended."
Yeah,
That's
but
fair.
yeah, no, I think the teams already came out and said they're gonna ramp up the volume for Addison. He's probably the best receiver they got left, but beside KJ, and KJ's, he's a guy.
Who is there for?
So I'm personally I'm taking that trade.
Brandon Powell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is actually right. I saw him.
Sir.
I saw him trending on Sleeper yesterday.
And
Sir.
for everybody wondering, this is why I have these two. I'm looking directly at the camera. That's why I have these two. These gentlemen
nothing else?
are literally the best with facts, and I give you
Encyclopedias.
guys your credit for that.
This kid's better with like the names.
Just
of
the
people.
random names.
I'm good with like the numbers. I feel.
Yeah.
I
feel
would
like it's a
I
good
would
combo.
have to give it to you. You guys are
All right,
the
nerd.
best. You
X,
guys
I
are
know.
the best.
I know you're done like praising us and stuff.
Appreciate
But
the
go
gla-
ahead. Yes,
appreciate the
continue.
glazing.
Sorry, I had to
you
glaze
can
a little.
continue later.
Glaze. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting AJ Brown this week. Obviously, he's going to be matched up with Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. It's really good, really good Jets secondary. It's a reason they're in games all year. It doesn't matter. The offense has been terrible. I think it's not going to be a favorable game script. The Eagles are probably a top 3 team in the league, undoubtedly.
They
right
are
now.
definitely a top 3.
Yeah, like I don't think there's really a debate. And I don't think it's going to be a favorable game script. I think the Eagles could blow the Jets out of the water.
Yeah.
And regardless if your defense is playing well, you're not going to be able to put up points. This front seven of the Eagles is insane. Even if they don't have Jalen Carter, and then you go to the back end and everyone's a plus player. There is no bad player on this Eagles team. I can honestly stand on that.
Agreed.
I agree with you. I'm not going to argue that one.
I still
And
would-
I think
wouldn't say
they're
that.
going to run the damn football.
Which
big Swift game.
yeah.
That's what I wrote actually.
Oh really?
I said should be a D Swift game,
Okay.
not a T Swift game.
Nah.
Wrong Kelsey.
Wrong.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Drake could never. Anyway.
Drake couldn't, bro.
Anyway.
All right, Micah, who do you have as I think we should be moving to sits now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
You're sitting
I'm
wide
mo-
receiver.
Yeah, I'm sitting Amari Cooper. So PJ Walker is projected to start for Cleveland. I feel like that's all I would need to say, but I'll keep going.
Bro, remember that PJ to DJ Moore?
Yeah,
That PJ to DJ?
2.6 in the only game that Watson didn't play in this year. And that San Francisco defense isn't as easy. Like, he's going to get matched up against Charvarius Ward, who is a top 15 cornerback in football at the very worst.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you start Amari Cooper in any not super deep league this week?
I mean, he's a hold in my league. I
He's
have
a
him on.
hold,
He's a
but
hold,
he's
a
not a
heavy
s-
hold.
he's not a start.
He's not a start. He is definitely
His
not a
value
start.
is not where it should be. He's
No.
a phenomenal wide receiver.
He's a
And you know
bye,
what's funny? You say that the team that I made the trade for Devontae Smith and now I have Jordan
This disaster
Addison.
class of a trade.
You believe.
We
Amari
believe.
Cooper is on my bench on that team. I left him on the bench to do Addison at wide receiver 2, and then I went Rice. I went Rashid Rice.
You know what's
Of
cra- I
Kansas City
honestly,
as my
I would have
flex.
started Rasheed Rice over Amari Cooper this week.
I did.
I would've too.
Yeah, I did.
100%.
Yeah,
I would've.
I saw. I
Rasheed
saw
Rice had 11.7.
something like
1.8.
that. Yeah.
It was 4 for 78.
I mean, think of it this way:
72.
if you're facing a defense that kept the Dallas Cowboys and the rest of the NFL under 20 points, you know they haven't given up 20 points yet.
Cleveland
No,
or
San Fran.
Yeah. So
They have not given up 20 points in a football game this year.
yeah. And, sorry, we had a little thing going on.
All right.
a little flirt.
But yeah, no, like I agree with you. That defense is a top tier defense. You got Fred Warner, who might be going down as the greatest linebacker ever, almost at middle linebacker. Actually, I'll take this take. I'll take this take. I'll rephrase it.
What is he- what
He
did he
is
say?
the most athletic middle linebacker I've seen ever.
He was
Fred
saying
Warner?
that Fred
Fred
Warner
Warner.
was potentially going to go down as the greatest middle linebacker ever.
It's
It might be.
No,
It might happen.
In terms of longevity, Ray Lewis first.
No.
Oh well, no. Obviously, it's Ray.
Ray,
It's
Jack
obviously
Lambert.
it's going to be Ray. But if Fred Warner
he's the
and
best.
that
he's the best of our
49ers
generation
team,
pretty easily.
Ham, whatever that old Steelers guy was.
I think he's definitely the best in our generation.
yeah. But
Luke
what I'm saying,
Kuechly is I'm
he
sorry.
retired,
bro.
He retired.
I know he's retired, obviously.
But
We're
like
talking about
for the
active
last
longevity.
6 years.
I'm saying in terms of
For
longevity.
the last 6 years, who's been better? Roquan No.
There was the 1 year where Darius Leonard was the best middle linebacker
Oh
in
my
football.
God!
Oh
You talking
my
about Darius
God.
Leonard, bro?
He fell off.
was never. He was
There's
never better than
nobody
what-
in.
Yes, there was
What?
a year where he was better than Fred Warner.
But he's
Sorry.
not better. He's not better than this Fred Warner.
No, of course
This
not.
Fred Warner is ridiculous.
Darius
There's-
Leonard, no.
All right, so listen, look at it this
Fred
way.
is scary,
There's
bro.
nobody in the NFL
Give me
that
Patrick
plays.
Willis, too.
There's nobody in the NFL currently that plays middle linebacker that could stop the run and easily
Well, obviously.
guard a running back or slot receiver or even your number one receiver.
I'm not arguing that
from
Fred Warner isn't the
scrimmage
best.
to deep downfield.
I'm not
What I
arguing-
saw against the
I'm not arguing
Cowboys was
that.
nuts.
Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker in football, and it's not close. But Matt Milano is like, but still, it's Fred Warner. But
My thing is all time. The all time statement was made by me only because
Derrick Brooks.
the only reason why it was made was because the dominance we're currently seeing.
Okay.
So if that dominance goes into the playoffs, which leads to a championship, that's one of his.
Yeah,
all
like,
right.
you
But
give
if it
him-
continues, like if they continue dominating past this year, you have to conversate him, Ray Lewis, Dick Butkus, and a lot of other guys.
Hell no.
You have to put him in that conversation.
Okay, my
Fred
God.
Warner cannot be
No, no, no,
denied
no,
a
no,
top
no, no,
five middle linebacker position.
if he wins one ring,
No, not one. I said it had to be a continual domination. If he wins one this year,
You're giving out Dan Orlovsky takes today, bud. What's going
no,
do.
let's be for real. Let's be for real. He wins this year. He's definitely going down as a top 10 all time.
I don't think I could give you 10. but
10 all time.
That's just because I.
If
don't
they
really
win the
know him, like-
championship
Hasn't
this
he
year.
only been in the league for like 7 years? Six years? He's young still.
And I'm pretty sure half of those,
And
half of that
so if-
six
if
has
we're-
been
if
in
we're-
complete
if we're
domination.
if we're taking a middle linebacker who's been in the league for less than 10 years, Luke Kuechly clears.
So does Willis, though.
Patrick Willis also clears.
I mean, he's a two-time All-Pro
Navarro
already.
Bowman.
No,
It doesn't
not
clear.
clear.
No,
Luke
no, no,
Kuechly,
no.
Luke Kuechly, I'll give you, and I'll
Ray
even
Lewis,
give in.
Dick Butkus, I can't remember. It was Jack Lambert or Jack Ham, the Steelers
Yeah.
guy from the 70s.
Yeah,
He's only been in the league since 18.
Oh, yo, Junior Seau?
and he's started every game since he's been in the league. That's a great stat.
That's what Iron Man.
He is 27. Like it's not like he couldn't go until he's 31.
He could.
I'm telling you, it's the possibility for at least a standing at top 5 at the table. There is a spot where you could say, if you're talking his talent, and if the domination that we're
And it's
seeing
Isaiah
this
Clears.
year,
And his girlfriend.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you guys watch by the end of the year.
Anyway,
But go
anyway.
ahead, continue back to your start sits.
Yeah, I believe we're moving on to stardom tight ends now.
You're-
Yeah.
Finally got done talking about Fred Warner.
I'm telling you,
Top
you're gonna
10
be. You're
my
gonna.
ass.
I'm telling you, clip this. Where whoever
Clip it,
gets
chat,
it, clip it, clip it,
We
chat.
need to start a series of just terrible takes that you've made.
Okay.
That you could throw into a reel.
All right, that's fine. We'll do that, and then we'll see. I mean, the Kodai Senga will always be biased, and that
Fair,
there's a reason
that's
for
fair.
it.
Anyway, who you starting at tight end, Connor?
I'm going first. I wasn't ready. I'm starting Logan Thomas, and there's no other reason. And there's actually no other reason to start him besides he had 20 points last week, and Sam Howell can't throw the ball probably further than 8 yards.
Xavier, that was a bad trade.
It was bad.
It was a bad trade.
It still is bad. Devontae Smith is like top 5 wide receiver upside every week.
Go ahead.
Jordan Addison's.
All right. I don't want to get back into this.
Not yet. We're
Please
not gonna get back into
Talk
it.
about
Go
Logan
ahead.
Thomas, please.
I'm done.
That was-
I have no
okay,
other
That
analysis.
was short and
All
sweet.
the tight ends are terrible, so it's like you're shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
Give me Zach Ertz this week.
Okay.
My ball.
What?
My ball. Say Zach Ertz.
Don't just continue. Do not say
Yo.
that man's name.
Yo.
My
So
ball.
the Rams are allowing the 5th most points per game to tight ends in fantasy this year. Ertz is consistent. He's got 8+ points in 4 out of 5 games this season. And Arizona is targeting tight ends on 31.1% of their passes this year, which is second most in the NFL,
Has
behind
McBride been
Atlanta.
good?
I doubt it.
Trey McBride, bro. What happened to
I
him?
doubt it.
Free
Knicks
him.
have the better McBride.
Free my
Anyway, yeah, that's so we're starting Zach Ertz this week. Let's move on to sits though.
That's fair.
Let's
I'm
move this
saying
on.
I'm saying the hell out of Tyler Higbee. I do think that the Puka and Cup effect right now. I'm not gonna say it, but they're encroaching on that best receiver duo in football, and I don't think it's like a terrible take. Jalen,
Currently,
I disagree. but
Current-
I
I
think
think,
wait,
it's
hold up,
I
hold
think
up.
they're easily top 5.
Yes,
are you saying
agreed.
are you saying currently, or are you saying
Currently.
top 5 all time?
Yo, what the?
What is-
currently.
okay, go ahead. That's what I'm.
Not top 5 all time.
Yeah.
Tyreek and Jalen Waddle is the best duo in football.
I think
Currently, yeah. I mean,
But Jalen hasn't done anything. Like I'd have to give it to Smitty AJ.
They would probably be my 2. Jay Chizzy and T Higgins would be my 3.
Ooh, I forgot about Jamar. Jamar's the
Yeah.
best receiver out of those 3, though.
out of what 3?
Wait, what?
Jamar
I
Chase
forgot
is.
about Tyreek.
I'm sorry,
I forgot about Tyreek.
I might get about out this hoe. Anyway, Yeah.
No, I think Tyler Higbee's a sit for me just because Puka and Cup, and I do think they like to target Kyron a lot in the backfield. There's not enough volume to support 4 guys who are going to give you startable points, I think, in fantasy football. I think Matt Stafford's looked really good, but he's going to look for his boys.
Yeah.
of course.
I think Puka and Cup have solidified themselves as a 8 to 12 target range guys per game.
Yeah.
And upside with touchdowns, like these guys are both like if you had Puka and you waited on Cup, like you're eating right now.
I mean, that's true. And also, you can't forget Tutu Atwell still plays for that team.
Tutu Atwell has not been bad at all. He caught a touchdown last week.
And they got rid of Van Jefferson. So at least that shows that they've
definitely
sat
condensed now.
they've sat on the 3 guys being
Like it's
Cooper,
it's
Puka, and
those
Tutu.
3, Higbee and Kyron, and they play the entire
And
game.
Ben
Yeah.
Skoranek.
He
Oh,
comes
yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
block.
Yeah,
Big
that's right.
scroll.
Big scroll.
Anyway, for tight end for sits, I'm sitting Dalton Schultz.
You know, you got to have a big scroll to block.
Dalton Schultz.
The Saints are allowing the fewest fantasy points per game to tight ends this year. Dalton Schultz is touchdown dependent. He's got 28 fantasy points for the rest of the year outside of his 2 touchdown catch plays. I don't see CJ Stroud doing much, which I mean it's just going to make his pass catchers suffer. So I don't know. I don't know why you would start Dalton Schultz this week. But yeah, that rounds it up for this week's edition of Start Sits.
Hooray!
I can't wait to take the dub this week.
All right.
Should've
So
done something
we
else.
will
Can't
definitely
gamble on air, can we?
No, we cannot gamble on air. We are
Don't
not.
actually, kids, don't gamble.
We are not. We do not support gambling here. Remember that. Yeah, like
We don't
if you
support
have an
gambling.
issue, editor, put it in here. If you have a gambling issue, please call this number.
Anyway. All right. So
All right.
let's cap this off.
Let's cap this off, but I might need help from somebody else's
Not again.
yeah, only because I have to log into the stupid double verification thing. Yeah, because the script got disconnected from me. So I just need. Actually, you know what? I could just look it up on YouTube. What am I doing? I just thought about that. I didn't think about that. But yeah, let's move on to our debate the greats, which kind of unfortunately is not going to go as well as we wanted it to go because before
Did we have a
Mr.
Carton
Carson.
clip in there?
Yeah, it was a.
It was
Carton
one of his
clip.
clips?
It was a Carton.
That's
clip.
not okay.
It
I
was.
know.
a
I'm
Carton
like,
clip.
there's nothing to smile about. You know what I mean?
It was so.
sad.
We apologize once again to everybody that tuned in and was coming to see Craig Carton.
This was absolutely
We are so
brutal
sorry.
showing.
We were so prepared, like literally
yeah.
so prepared. We were, but it just did not happen how we wanted it to happen. Unfortunately.
All right, while Xavier's pulling up this clip, who you got? Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis.
Yo, just because I hate Logan Paul, give me Dylan Dennis.
Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis.
Logan Paul's gonna win. Logan Paul's gonna win.
Oh wow, Steph with the Logan Paul call. Jen.
Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis. You're
Oh,
going
okay,
with Dylan.
Dennis.
Who you got, X?
I think Logan Paul is more athletic, so I'll go Dennis.
I just don't think like Dylan is not a boxer, bro. He's gonna
No,
get.
Yeah,
so
he's a
clear, I
jiu-jitsu
do. I
guy.
do believe Logan Paul will win. I just despise the Paul brothers. So
All right, so
I like Jake more than I like
no,
Logan.
I like Logan more than Jake.
all right,
Jake
so I don't
is-
know how this will work.
Logan's
all
a
right,
scammer.
I don't know how this will work, but let's see how this works. All right, real
Bro,
quick, I
if-
have the clip up.
Actually, though, like you cannot bet on anyone else but Logan. Like if Logan loses, like everything he loves is gone.
All right,
Nina's gone, bro.
we got it.
Oh, my fault. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So we got it. We got the clip here, guys. Let's
Which
see if this
is-
works. So the clip that we are going to be listening to and reviewing, if it doesn't work, please editor throw the clip in onto the video over us. But this clip is from Shannon Sharp covering taking the controls at First Take this week to this morning because Stephen A was not in.
Aw.
And what they spoke about was, is Brock Purdy an elite QB. And I had both Shannon Sharp's opinion and our guest that was supposed to be on with us today, Craig Carton's opinion about Brock Purdy being an elite quarterback. So let's take a look if this works. No, of course it's not working. Xavier is just having the worst possible day in existence with like every possible thing.
No, this actually is literally the show from hell. Like
it's literally,
but like
literally
we've had
the
good luck in
worst.
here every single time we've been in here up until this point. So
It was literally the worst. I don't even know.
editor's gonna have a field day.
Your fault.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Hold on.
What's my fault?
Everything.
Oh yeah, you got me.
All right. Well, I don't know. Hold on. You know what? I'll play it through my phone. That's what I'll do.
All we can just say is Brock Purdy elite.
We'll play it through this, but I know that the editor Josh, he'll see this. Please, Josh, just edit in this clip into the video. That way, it's easier. But yeah, let's take a listen to Shannon Sharp's take about good old Brock Purdy being not an elite quarterback. All right. And then afterwards, we will listen to Mr. Carton's take on Brock Purdy being an elite quarterback. All right? Come on, ads. I'm not trying to learn about some camera. Come on. It's not one I could skip, guys, unfortunately. All right.
Such a tragedy.
So how about the Offset album?
Away we go. So he started his career known as Mr. Irrelevant after being the last pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, but he's been playing like an MVP. Brock Purdy led the Niners to a 5-0 start this season, throwing for a little over 1,200 yards, 9 TDs. In fact, the Niners' offense as a whole has been explosive. Let me break it down for you. They've scored 30 points in all 5 games this season. They're the 6th team in the NFL history to do that. 4 of the previous 5 went on to reach the Super Bowl. Also, worth noting that San Fran leads the league in scoring defense this year. Shannon, here's what I need to know, okay? This is what I need to know, because this story
Oh, come on. What are we doing? Ads? What are we doing? There we go.
is unbelievable. It should be a 30 for 30. Mr. Irrelevant to what he's doing now, a good shot at the Super Bowl. But is he really an elite quarterback, or is it just the situation he's in?
No, he's not an elite quarterback. He's a product of the system. It's more credit to Kyle Shanahan and what he's done. He's not, in RC, you'll appreciate this. You know, in the biblical term, the devil told God that Job, the reason why he serves you is because you give everything to him. He said if you remove that hedge from around him, he will curse his very maker.
He'll curse you.
He said you can take everything but his life. Took his kid, took his sheep, took all that. Job was still faithful.
Never cursed him.
I'm not so sure that if we remove Debo, we remove Kyle Shanahan, we removed Ayuk, we would still see this Brock Purdy. He's a product of the system. Now, that's not to take away from what he's doing. It's okay for him to be in the MVP discussion and not be Patrick Mahomes or not be Tua or not be an elite quarterback. He still has to go out there and operate. He just doesn't have to do as much as, say, those other guys. If I were to put him in Patrick Mahomes, if I switch places and says, okay, you got to go do what Patrick Mahomes does, or you got to go do what one of these other quarterbacks, I'm not so sure Brock Purdy could do that. But in this system, the ability to run the football with Christian McCaffrey and all the weapons, because all he has to do is just not turn it over. Get it in the Ayuk's hand, get it in Debo's hands, get it in Kittle's hands, and let them do the work. But no, he's not elite. No.
All right, that's Shannon's take, and here is Mr. Carton's take right afterwards, waiting after this DraftKings ad. Thanks.
Don't gamble.
On national TV, and guys like Aaron Rodgers are now appreciating your game publicly. All of a sudden, the nation wakes up and goes, he's not Mr. Irrelevant. He's not a guy that's holding the bag for somebody else. He is the leader of that team. He is the starting quarterback, the franchise quarterback, and he has not thrown an interception this year. He has not lost a regular season game in his career, and there's no reason to think until they get to that 3-game stretch where they play Seattle twice in 3 weeks that it's not going to continue, because it is going to continue.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing out of Brock.
So there you go. We got both of their takes right there, gentlemen. I will let Micah take the first stab at this because Micah was going hard off mic about why he truly believes Brock Purdy is not an elite quarterback. So Micah, please go ahead.
Okay, so when you're talking about a quarterback being elite, right? You have, I think it's off the top of my head, I want to say 7, using the term elite very loosely. You have Patrick Mahomes in no particular order. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. You can try to squeeze Trevor Lawrence in there, and I don't think. Oh, and Joe Burrow.
Oh, no,
Justin
What are you
Herbert.
doing? That list was fine.
Yeah.
Just take Joe Burrow out of there.
Get out of
Okay,
here.
please stop.
Anyway, and Joe Burrow. Okay, so that's 8 guys.
Yeah, I'll give you 8. It's a
If
good
you
list.
were going to say that someone is an elite quarterback, he would have to be on the tier of the guys that I just said.
And like, it's crazy because like I feel like I do agree with you. Like he's definitely not elite. I think he's more like in that 13, 15 range.
Agreed.
I feel like that's kind of
Geno
fair.
Smith, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, like that range is fair. I think, but like if you take him out and you put him up like on the Patriots, that's why I think football is very situational. Like, do you think Jalen Hurts develops the same way if he's on the Commanders?
No, of
Do
course
you
not.
think Daniel Jones is as good as Brock Purdy if he's on the Niners? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is like it's hard to judge because Brock Purdy has so many weapons. He has everything he could ever want.
100%.
He's in the best situation possible with the best left tackle in football, which nobody really.
Trent Williams.
He's
Jimmy
immovable.
Garoppolo succeeded on that team for a while, and he went to 1 or 2 Super Bowls. I think he only went to 1 in San Francisco. So, and I'm not saying that Brock Purdy is the same level as Jimmy Garoppolo has ever been. Brock Purdy is better than Jimmy Garoppolo has ever been. But to say that he's an elite quarterback, I think isn't absurd, but I think it's pretty crazy. You put him on any of those guys. If you take let's say, in my opinion, the worst quarterback out of the guys that I just named, the 8 guys, is Trevor Lawrence. If you put Trevor Lawrence on the San Francisco 49ers, Trevor Lawrence might be the MVP favorite. Brock Purdy shouldn't even be the MVP favorite on his own team. It should be Christian McCaffrey. But the MVP is a quarterback award. It always has been, and it always will be. So that's why people use the MVP debate to talk about Brock Purdy. But you take Brock Purdy off that team, and like Connor said, you put him on the Patriots, or even a more middle of the pack team like the Saints or the Buccaneers. He's solid, but he's definitely not putting up the insane touchdown interception ratio that he's put up since he came into the league. He's not completing 70% of his passes week in, week out.
Yo, like you said, the Buccaneers put Baker Mayfield on the Niners, bro. You're getting Brock Purdy. Like that's not like, and that's not a diss to Brock. Like I think Brock
Purdy's better than Baker Mayfield.
But like you can't like when the situations are so different. Like you can't really like has Baker Mayfield ever had a better player on his team than Christian McCaffrey?
No, of course not.
No, it's so easy to be good when you have.
It does take a lot more than CMC, though.
One of the best offensive players in football, if not the.
No, of course. You got to think PJ Walker was quarterbacking that team for a period of time with Christian McCaffrey, and he was abysmal. So I don't think you can just use specifically CMC as an example, but I hear what you're saying. Baker has never had the offensive upside until this year, and he's thriving, whether he's not posting the gaudy numbers that some quarterbacks have posted in that Tampa Bay offense. That's what I'm saying. He's thriving. Godwin and Evans and
Kate Otten, Rashad White.
His supporting cast right now isn't too bad, but obviously you put him on San Francisco, and he's putting up way better numbers. They still probably.
I love that. I love Baker Mayfield.
I do too.
I'm a huge Baker guy.
Oklahoma fan. I
know.
I love Baker, but
I think he's a savage.
Okay, so obviously we got Micah here saying he's not, and Connor also joining in on the no train here.
Xavier,
how do you feel?
How do you feel?
So I was just about to actually take the opposite side, which by my job description, I have to take the opposite side. But let's talk about a few things that I find to be very, very interesting with the Brock Purdy situation. As of right now, Brock Purdy is complete.
I can't sit here and listen to you talk about Brock Purdy's elite.
All right, I mean that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
No.
But Brock Purdy for his career currently, it's very small. It's a very small one. So, if you do not know, Brock Purdy was drafted in 2022.
Out of Iowa.
He was the very last player,
Mr.
period,
Irrelevant, sir.
point blank, was the last player drafted. So he was pretty much the guy that nobody cared about. He has not played a lot of games. He got drafted in 2022, but ended the year playing due to injury in the San Francisco
and if he
area.
didn't juice his elbow, he would have probably.
Yeah. So he had 5 games at the end of last year, went undefeated. Had a 72% completion rating, had 1,271 yards, 9 yards an attempt, 9 TDs, 0 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns, 0 picks. You come into this new season, 5 game total. Teams should already have enough game film on how to stop you if you're not elite. Your decision making, if you're not elite, would then be at average, which most people would say. I think Shannon Sharp would say watching the whole thing, Shannon said he is not like Patrick Mahomes or players like that are on the field making their own calls. Like the coach is giving them a play, but they have the audibility to change it. Whereas Shannon Sharp was on the side that he does not believe Brock Purdy has to do much thinking. He's given a play, the play usually works. He doesn't have to change it much, right? If you're going to say that also, Brock Purdy doesn't do much work, right? He is completely undefeated since he started last year. Has not lost a game.
Do you think? How many other starting quarterbacks in the NFL do you think would do that?
I'm not saying that. Hold on. I'm not talking about other quarterbacks. We're talking specifically him right now. He's undefeated. He has at least a 69%, almost a 70% completion rating, and for his career, he has 2,645 yards on career, averaging 8 yards an attempt with 22 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. That is on a 14 game total as a whole career.
He has 20. How many yards does he have in those 14 games?
And all 2,645 yards.
So
what I'm trying to say is, yes, to you guys, there is the level that's way up there. The guys that have done it in the playoffs. Brock Purdy hasn't done it yet in the playoffs to prove that, besides the small substance we got last year. I think you have to at least say, for this season, he has to be considered elite.
Nope.
He is not the best. He is not Patrick Mahomes level, but the performance he is putting out is elite.
He has played elite games.
Yes.
But so has Kirk Cousins. So has, not this year, Dak Prescott has not.
Yeah.
So has, again, past years,
Where do you put
Geno Smith, Russell Wilson
have
both had elite games, but elite games do not make you an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
He has been consistent, but again, it's hard to not be. Jimmy Garoppolo was literally ragged on about being so average and mid and consistent when he was on San Francisco.
And he was doing the same thing.
He was doing it on a little lesser scale than Brock Purdy, in my opinion. But no one ever regarded Jimmy Garoppolo as elite. People are regarding Brock Purdy as elite, and I don't think that it's right, because elite is such a. I used it loosely before, but I named you 8 guys, and you can't argue, I don't think at all, that Brock Purdy is better than any of those guys, ever has been better than any of those guys, or ever will be better than any of those guys.
I will say, has not been better yet, because I think those guys all have the longevity number with more games. But I do think if Brock Purdy continues, he is undefeated in his career currently. You have to then start having a conversation, because look at it this way. Why do we say Michael Jordan's the GOAT over LeBron, just over LeBron in that conversation? The answer is because of the 3P. It's the undefeated when it comes to game time in that game. And what do you go out there to do? Get W's. He does not have an L on his record.
Didn't Matt Castle win 11 out of 12 games at one point or something like that for New England in 2008 when Brady got hurt?
I know he did come in and do well. I don't know if he.
I know they made the playoffs with Matt Castle.
That was like his senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I want to say that they won 11 games that year. Obviously, that's not what Brock Purdy's done. Brock Purdy has topped that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that just because you're a quarterback who is not turning the ball over on a winning team does not make you elite.
I will agree. I just think, if it continues,
if he goes the rest of the year playing like this, not turning the ball over, the Niners win the Super Bowl or they get damn close,
and he wins Super Bowl MVP, he's on the brink. I don't care.
I don't think Super Bowl. Malcolm Smith won a Super Bowl MVP.
All right. So he's not elite. This will be the question to end it. Don't be too long, because I know our good friend has coaching to get to. Is he your MVP?
Hell no.
For the season.
Patrick Mahomes.
Why?
Tua,
Why?
Josh-
'Cause, well, you just had
I'm taking Christian McCaffrey.
Wait, hold on. Just to context it, you just said Patrick Mahomes. He had a rough game last night.
MVP is an award designed, I mean, in the NFL, it's a little skewed towards the quarterback position, but the MVP is designed to be given to the player who is most valuable to their team.
They're undefeated.
I don't like that.
They are
Is
undefeated.
that
And
not
do you
the
think
actual narrative of the award?
that
it
is
is,
the
but,
narrative? Do you think though then that if you take Brock Purdy off that team, which I know you guys have already stated, you feel Connor said Daniel Jones could be good on that team.
If you throw CJ Beathard back on that 49ers team, they're not going to be where they are now. But
Wait, isn't it? You pronounce it Bethard?
Yeah, is
No way. I thought it was Beat Hard the whole time.
But go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna hit you, but yeah, I'm not like okay. You throw CJ Beathard on that team, yeah, like they're not gonna be where they are now. But if you throw a quarterback like CJ Stroud or Dak Prescott on that team now, I don't see them getting significantly worse to the point where it's that much of a plausible difference that you could consider Brock Purdy an MVP being the most valuable player.
Does he win? Does he win this year? Does he win the MVP if they continue?
I mean, if he goes undefeated, like I can see the narrative being pushed.
Yes, but should he know?
Would I agree with it? No, he'd probably be a finalist, maybe like top 5. But I'm still taking
CMC should absolutely.
CMC should be in consideration over him. I think CMC like brings that offense to like an otherworldly level. Like I think they're really this Niners team has probably a top 2 defense in football and the second best offense in football.
Okay,
but it's not like it's not fair.
Off the top of my head, there's a minimum of 4 non-quarterbacks that I think should be ahead of him in the MVP voting.
Well, the official MVP voting to end the show for you guys has him
right now?
after their win this past weekend. They have him at 3.
It's Mahomes, Tua, and then him, or
Yeah, I think it's Mahomes, Tua, and then him. Or it might be Mahomes, Tua. He might be 3 or 4. He might have just leapfrogged Josh Allen.
Hurts is probably up there.
Yeah, no, Hurts is actually 5th in the voting. Josh Allen is a little ahead of Hurts, and Brock Purdy might be ahead of Allen.
Anyway.
It's like that. You guys ever see that military meme where it's like
No.
there's like but there's 5 of them, and then there's a clown in the middle.
Oh yes,
That's what's going on right now.
That's
All
I
right.
swear.
I don't know.
Anyway,
We thank you guys. We want to apologize once again to everybody that tuned in.
sincere apologies. This was not how today was supposed to go.
To get Craig Carton. We will be having him on next week. He spoke to us. He will be with us next week.
So make sure you tune in. We could tell you to tune in since we're not in the other studio.
Yeah, we will be live.
Peep that.
Subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah.
You're watching this right now. That's
Yeah.
pretty sick, right? You see that little button? And that like button too. That button's really dope.
All right, I'm not gonna go that.
Click it.
I'm gonna-
Click it.
I'm gonna-
Click
Y'all
it. Click it.
Y'all have a
Click
good
it.
one.
Click
I'm
it.
gonna hit
Great
you.
Friday.
Love you guys.
Have a good weekend. Y'all be safe.
Peace.
Adios.